Guys, what it is a yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, coming through on December. Why do I keep jumping to December? Time is moving fast enough. November the 3rd. Yes. 2022. Girl, I'm already in December. But you know what? I'm continuing on that living life in a cycle video that I recorded yesterday. I'm trying to get that shine off my face, girl. But basically, living in a cycle does put you like that, where you don't know what day it is. You don't know what week it is, and you don't know what month it is, because you're just continuing your cycle, your routine, your constant grind, your constant going, your constant coming, your constant, like I was talking about in the last video, your constant coming to save and help folks. Yes, a constant. So it'll put you where you don't even know if you're going or coming, girl. So anyways, I think that video is doing decent. Like, honestly, I think I have like 16 views. And my short content right now on my channel is the only thing that's really popping. So when I see a longer form video, it will get more views. But usually it would have been out for a week or 2 weeks or something like that before it starts getting some views, which I am doing more longer form content so that I can get my watch time up, so that I can get to my monetization. I have hit my first goal of my first 1,000 subscribers due to YouTube Shorts. So anybody up here trying to be a YouTuber, girl, start there. You get your subscribers there. Okay. Then you got to figure out the watch time. We'll figure that out later. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Yes. So I'm doing more longer videos. I know it's going to take me longer to get to that watch time goal. That's fine. I'm here. Long as it was like the train wasn't moving at all. But now that the train moving, I know eventually I'm going to get there, right? So that video I recorded, it basically was how I feel. I felt like that for decades now, but I tend to not say how I feel because everyone takes offense to it. They feel as though, oh, I know you ain't talking about me. You got to be talking about that person. Or no, I know you ain't talking about me. You talking about that person. I'm talking about anybody in my life that has ever used me. That's who I'm talking about. So you know if you have used me, so that I'm talking to you. People know when they use folks. If I ever was with somebody for a reason, like for a benefit that it would give, like back in the day, you know how girls went with guys for their cars, or you know you doing that. You know you going with that person for that reason. You know so a lot of people have me around for reasons of benefits that I bring. I'm a selfless person. I'm always willing to help. You can count on me. I'm dependable. I'm going to help anytime I can help. I will help you before I will help me. But this has created a cycle in my life that I'm ready to break free of. I'm ready to make sure my life is on track before I make sure your life is on track, which is so crazy. Because if I can get my life on track, I could help you more. But they don't think that way. The way they think is, let me get all I can get, use until I can't use no more, until she's broken down, tired, and overdrawn, and then I just won't get nothing from her. So in all of the scheme of things, when you use people, when you take for granted people, maybe it's not so dramatic as you using a person, but when you take for granted what someone does for you, or the people being in your life that are good, when you take them for granted and you lose them, then you realize they're not easily replaced. You're not going to find another me. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee. And I know every relationship that I have had, whether it was family, friends, mother, brother, sister, cousin, aunties, uncles, friends, associates, everybody. I have always taken those relationships and I always analyze, if I'm doing something to you, would I want that to be done to me? If you have any interaction with me, you know I've already taken those steps. If you have a problem and you come to me, I think, hey, you know what? If I had that problem, I would want somebody to help. If I was going through that and I didn't have anybody there to talk to turn to, how would I feel? Which I don't. Girl, I ain't got nobody. I can count on about 3 fingers the people that literally are in relationship with me for just being myself, just me being Keita. They just love me for being Keita. I can count on about 3 fingers those people. But this is talking to everyone else. Okay. So I never meant to release that video. I was thinking, how am I going to release it? Am I going to release it? Whatever. But I recorded it because it was how I felt in the moment. That's the way I feel. I've felt that way for a long time. And I just want to record my feelings. I do journal more now rather than running to, people that don't quite want to hear what you got to say, or they've already heard it, but it's still an issue with you, rather than, like I said, burdening other people with my problems. I try to find a way to resolve them. So I know I can't keep coming to you with my problems because I know you have your own problems. So that means that with my problems, I have to find a way to solve them. So the issues that I go through, I started back journaling. I started back writing out my thoughts. I started writing out my feelings. I started writing out prayers of what I desire. And then I write an answer. Did God answer that prayer? God did answer that prayer. God didn't answer that prayer. And rather than talking to someone that doesn't quite, there's really no need for a conversation if you don't care about what I'm talking about. Have you ever been in a conversation like that where you're just talking, and for me, it hurts to talk. I have TMJ, so it does. I was trying to pop my jaw to show you, but my jaws are always tight. They're always tight, always hurting, because I do have herniated discs in my neck. I be in a lot of pain. I be suffering. To be honest, I am disabled. I do work though, because I have a conflict of interest going on. Basically, I'm disabled, but I'm disabled by different disabilities, right? So my herniated disc, my carpal tunnel, my all of that stuff, my sciatica and all of that kind of conflicts with me being legally blind, right? So I just go on and tell y'all the issue. I done kept it to myself so long, right? So I said I'm trying to solve my own problem. So I'm just gonna release it in my own way. I didn't make you watch this video, so if you're watching it, then that means you want to hear it, right? So the problem is, all of those things it's very hard to work. I work manual labor, and I have always worked manual labor jobs. If I have worked an office job in my life, it's been very short. I used to unload trucks. I was a stocker at a superstore, at a grocery store as well. I was always the fastest, most proficient. I don't care who job I get on, I'm going to give you the best that I can give you. I worked in a laundry room, which if you ain't worked in a laundry room, girl, that work is hard. When you up there pulling all them wet clothes out, huge. And I worked in a laundry room for a theme park. Huge washers, soaking wet clothes, pulling them are pounds and pounds. And you're talking about a person without a normal neck with discs in between, a person without normal hands that don't have arthritis. I got arthritis in my neck as well, that don't have arthritis in their hands and carpal tunnel and nerve damage and hands falling asleep as you're trying to work, or you're trying to hang the clothes, the dry garments on the little conveyor belt, and your shoulder is hurting and you go to the bathroom to cry to yourself because you know you're in excruciating pain, but you also know you need that paycheck at the end of the week, right? So I have that issue where I work, but it is hard as jail to work. That's why I'm trying to find some way to make my art and creativity make more money off of my brain and my abilities mentally than my physical abilities, because my physical abilities are, that time is, it's ticking. It is ticking. Okay, but on the other hand, so I'm basically disabled. I could file. Ben could file for just one of my disabilities. But the reason that I can't is because I'm also going blind. I have a rare eye disease called keratoconus. It is where your eye protrudes out so far, keeps protruding to the point that it ruptures. And once it ruptures, you need a cornea transplant. If you don't receive a cornea transplant, I'll have like one of those white over eyes, like with a Fetty Wap. Yeah, I have one of those. This eye is to that point. It pokes out. The doctor is always telling me, Ms. Dixon, you need to really think about getting that transplant. You really do, because you don't really want it to rupture. They said it's any point. We don't know you could get in an accident. Someone can accidentally hit you in it. And that's it. It's gone, because it's that thin. They test how thin my cornea is every time I go to the doctor. And they're like, Miss Dixon, baby, girl. And when I was to my point where I was going to break down and get that transplant, but right after that, my mama went in for outpatient surgery. They botched it, and she never came back home. That lies in the back of my head, but that's something that I'm going to have to get over. So the deal that I made with my doctor was that I would do, because both eyes are doing it, both eyes, but for some reason this one is progressing slower. This one just went from 0 to 100 real quick. I was seeing out of it way across miles, and then boom, one day I just couldn't even hardly see in front of my face. I couldn't see my hands, the texture on my hands. I couldn't look down and see my feet, and I could not look in the mirror and see my face. So I once was blind, but now I see. And also, the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me because it is so rare that they kept misdiagnosing me. Misdiagnosing. And it became to the point where I was just walking around and could not see anything. I had to raise my daughter basically blind, couldn't hardly see nothing, until one day my license was taken from me because I failed the eye exam. They didn't just snatch it back. They did tell me I had 90 days to find a doctor and get treated and pass this test. And I'm like, oh, ish, because it's been years I've been trying to find some way, somehow. Okay, end up, I find a doctor. God leads me to a doctor, which is crazy. After all that time of looking for a doctor, couldn't find no doctor, no help, no nothing. Finally find the correct doctor, and they tell me what is wrong. They tell me good and bad news. You're legally blind. He said you have a rare eye condition, and this is most likely going to follow you the rest of your life. You're going to have to deal with issues from this for the rest of your life. He said, my suggestion is that you always keep insurance because you're going to need it. Did you hear what I said? Always keep insurance. Right. So, for me to get that insurance, I have to work. And for me to get that insurance, I have to work full-time hours. And I have to opt for, there's like 3 or 4 tiers of insurance. I have to opt for the highest tier of insurance. That's the only one that covers that transplant. To keep full-time status, I have to work full-time hours. Full-time hours is what bothers the carpal tunnel, the neck injury, the sciatica, so this is where it becomes, if you cared about me, you would understand. And if you didn't understand, you can't care too much. This is where I try to say, if I make my money, it's hard for me to make my money. I'm not a normal, healthy adult going to work, making their living. I'm an injured, disabled worker that works in excruciating pain all week to bring home a small check and barely pay my bills. So if I give you, I don't care if I gave you $20, I know how hard I had to work for that $20. I know that $20 is the reason my hands are swollen. I know that $20 is the reason my jaw is so tight. I know that $20 is the reason I have a headache daily because of this herniated disc, 3 herniated discs in my neck and 5 pinched nerves. So to you, sure, oh, you only let me borrow $20. Wow, what's $20? Because that's all it was worth to you is $20. But to me, it was worth a lot. I went through a lot to get that $20. And one thing about me, I care about my time more than I care about my money. Baby, I would rather you waste my money than you waste my time. Because I know I'm on a sinking ship. This is why I've been so frantic to build my YouTube, to build something that I can take care of myself, not only just myself, my daughter, me and Marcello's daughter, right? But we're being realistic. There is nothing physically that Marcello can do to help our daughter at this moment. He can mentally help, he can talk to her, he could be a support system, but he can't help her pay them bills. He can't help take no slack from her. He can't help her in no way. I'm the only one that would be able to help her, the only parent she has that could help, right? And I want to be decent off enough making money in more mental ways than physical ways. And I want to have extra to be able to help my daughter get on her feet before I leave this world. Before I leave. When my mother left me in this world, my mama left me prepared. She taught me many lessons. She taught me how to survive on your own. She taught me how to find a way. She taught me how to figure a way from no way. Make it happen. Make it happen. She left me with a lot. And I don't dare want to leave this world and just leave my daughter with the same struggle that I went through. That is not just like the Irv Gotti brother had that little saying. He said, our ceiling should be their floor. There's no reason when I pass away, my daughter starts at the bottom where I started. I should build something, and she can stand on what I built and build from there. Wealth is built over generations. So if I die and that building is demolished and she's starting from the ground, that means she in her lifetime got to build back to the first story. And then if she don't build, that means that building going to be tore down again. And then Miss Princess, my granddaughter, going to start from ground level again. This is why we never get nowhere. This is why we never make more than just enough to survive, right? So I'm trying to build something that can help us generationally. You may say, who the heck do I think I am to think that I can build something like that? Well, let me tell you, God has given me many talents. So much creativity, I don't even know what to do with all of it. And there's a purpose for him giving it to me. And it's not to keep all my talents and my gifts and keep them inside of me and go to work 9 to 5, breaking my body down more. He could have just kept it and gave it to someone else. It would have been no reason for him to entrust these talents with me. So I got to find the way to get out of the working, which working is a big distraction in most people's lives. We work to live, and baby, we live to work. Work takes up majority of my week. Work takes up majority of my day. And I don't believe that God had in his creation, in his wonder, that in 1981, when he created me just to be someone's employee. It's got to be more to my life than this. It's got to be. I ain't quite figured it out, but baby, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And for me to figure it out, you know what? It's going to take me putting me first now. I can't put you first as I always have. I got to take care of me first. God got to come first. Then I got to take care of me. Then God will bless me enough to help you. Because I tried to just offer you my kindness, my gentleness, my help, my God dog it, what type of thing was that fell up on my roof like that? Acorn or something. But I tried to give it to you, and you misused it. You took it for granted. You act as though it was nothing. And it's time and time again. You didn't do it once. You didn't do it twice. You didn't do it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You did it many, multiple times. I never said anything. It bothered me. I may have told other people it bothered me. I lived with the feelings of it bothering me. And I never told you anything. But I felt this way for a long time. Long time. I'm just now brave enough to open my mouth and start telling you that, hey, what you're doing is hurting me. Hey, but anyway, I do have that quote that I was looking for from the last video from Martin Luther King. So I'm going to read that. And the first, let me give you kind of the background of what it was. Living life in a cycle. Basically, one of the cycles in my life is like a superhero syndrome. That's what they call it. For me, it is basically I'm an empath. I'm an empath. I can feel your pain. When you go through something, it hurts me to see you hurt. I'm an empath. And when people are empaths, people can see that light you bring. But most people see the light as an opportunity. They don't see it as something beautiful, something that maybe I should strive to do that as well. Or maybe we can shine together. I help you, you help me, and we're both helped. They don't see it that way. They see the light as, oh my gosh, that's somebody that I can take advantage of because they care. Nobody else in this world's gonna help me like they're helping me. So rather than me to be grateful for it, I'm going to take advantage of it. So I have a lot of one-way relationships in my life. One-way streets. I've also heard it said that if you give more in a relationship than you get back, the relationship really is not worth it in the end. But it's not like I have just one or two of those. I have multiple, all aspects of my life. I have those type of relationships. So that is stemming from me. Like I said, I work on me. And God has been showing me a lot. This year, I learned that I am an empath. This year, I also learned that I have poor boundaries. I have very poor boundaries. And people that are looking to take advantage of that light that I shine, they see those poor boundaries. They test them first. And they see, Keita let me walk over that boundary. I seen you. I know you did it. I just didn't make no big deal out of it. And I quickly forgave you. But you walked over that boundary. Okay? Forgiveness given. You do it again. But you go further across my boundary. It's still okay. Okay, I'm gonna forgive you. I can't hold grudges. I ain't got no room in my heart to hold no grudge for nobody. So even at this moment, if you know you did me wrong, I still will forgive you. That's how I am. That's me. For real. A genuine person. Sure, you have never met another like me because it's not many of us in this world. It's a lot of us, but it's not many. It's more people looking to take advantage than there are looking to help. So I have to work on my boundaries. I have to work on protecting me. You can't do this. I can't allow you to do this to me. You wouldn't allow me to do it to you. You know you wouldn't. So why am I supposed to allow you to do it to me? Make it make sense in some type of way. So I learned about narcissistic relationships. This is research I've been doing for a long time. And when I don't even know how I came across it, but when I did come across one video, this guy's name is Mental Healness. Because, I think I kind of do, because I knew something's wrong with me. There's something different. There's something, I don't know why I do the things I do. I don't know why I care so much for others who clearly show me time and time again that they don't give not even the smallest little bit of care about me. But I still care about them. I don't know what that is in me that makes me that way, but I know this is the reason why I'm staying down. I know that. And even Marcella will be like, Kita, if you know how they are, why do you still? And I'm like, I know, but if I was going through that, I would want somebody to help me. Or if this, I'm always thinking about if it were me. But when it is me, they ain't thinking about that. They think about, wow, you just can't help me right now. So you're no good to me right now. But I started researching and trying to figure out what the heck is mentally wrong with me. I found out a lot of things. I have poor boundaries, which is a cycle I need to break. I have self-doubt, which is created from those poor boundaries. People that use and manipulate. A lot of these things I've just learned this year, right? I felt them. I knew that it was happening, but I didn't have real terms. I thought I was crazy. Something was wrong with me. I didn't know how to call it by what it is. But thanks to Mental Healness, and he actually says he's a narcissist. He is a narcissist. He's a self-aware narcissist. Now, in my last video, I was talking about how people don't like to take ownership of what they do to others. They don't want to be called on it. They don't want to be told they shouldn't have did this, did that, that hurt my feelings. They don't want to be called on none of that. But Mental Healness, his wife, basically they were together. He was doing the same thing. It's never enough. You can never help them enough. You can never do enough. I don't care if you